Happy Easter, and good morning to all of you. And those of you not celebrating the Easter season, guys, happy and good morning to you as well. Big up to everyone joining me. It's your boy MarkN, MUFC fan, and you know what it is, guys. It's the Morning Views Manchester United news. This is the match preview, guys. Brentford versus Manchester United away at the B Stadium. You know what it is. Manchester United are going away after their victory in the FA Cup against the Liverpools. And you know what it means? It means that we have a chance to keep and kick on and take a victory away at the Bees, doing the double over them this season and moving on 3 points closer to those above us. With a game in hand, guys, it could be exciting. Manchester United is always one of those teams you cannot count out in the business end of the season because they are one of those clubs that just gets it done. People talk about Man City's always great in the business end, but this was the history of Manchester United. And even more so, recently we've been showing that we could come back late and we won it. And we do, because we were the comeback kings originally before Liverpool and Klopp sort of had that run going at the beginning of the season, but it's been cut short by the real kings in the last game. Guys, what's your thoughts? What are your comments? 10 games left, but this is the match preview for Brentford tomorrow. Guys, there's lots of news to be talking about for that fixture because, as you know, there aren't going to be train transport back from the stadium after the game as the last train leaves 2 minutes before kickoff. Probably leaving United away supporters stranded. But fixture changes, and you know what? It's a complaint that we always complain as football fans. They put more emphasis on viewing, on viewership, than the real faithful who actually go to the games. And it's a difficult one, guys. But you know what? Through adversity, the Reds should come true and prevail. Let's get into the show. Take this time to smash those likes and subscribe. Those of you watching on X, don't forget to share it along, give me a retweet, leave a comment and criticism. Let your thoughts be heard. Big up to all of you joining me. Let's get into the show. And big up, big up, big up again. You know what it is, guys. Let's get into comments, see how you're doing. Good morning to you, GB. Hope you're doing well. Big up to you, Mental Ball Game. Hope you're having a good one. Big up to you, Kenny Fan. Good Mano, Mark. Morning, bro. Hope you're doing well. I know you've been up early getting in on the streams. You know what? If you want to jump in, I'm just doing the preview. So, guys, I'm going to drop the link. Kenny, you don't need the link. You could just pop in whenever you like. Big up to you, my bro. So, guys, let's get into this. And I'm going to start with an off topic kind of story, but I just wanted to let you guys know, for those of you who are like me and you back the manager, that we are not the only ones. And I just want to bring this to the stage so you guys could see that I'm not just making this up. But if you look at it like this, look at this. And it's Sir Brian Robson, guys. Brian Robson, ex Man United legend, urges the club to keep Eric Ten Hag as he blasts Gareth Southgate links. And a lot of people are like us. We, think of the managers that we've been linked with over this season, this period of international football, and during a break when there's not much footballing news going on in the Premier League. It's like maybe Southgate will be the next United manager, Gary O'Neill. But these guys, they don't have the pedigree. You know what I mean? I mean, the link, it's great that, Southgate is an English manager. It's great that Gareth Graham Potter is an English manager, but he's a terrible manager. He's not successful. He's lost more than he has won. And, he showed that he could not handle the pressure of a big club doing it at Chelsea last season, unable to keep his job for an entire 6 months. It's insane. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to go too delve deeply into this story. But at the end of the day, it's mostly just like what we are thinking. And I can show you another one, Sam Allardyce. Sam Allardyce is saying, you know what he's saying? Southgate isn't ready for the United job. You know what I mean? And that's Big Sam, guys. This is Big Sam, who's basically saying that he's not capable. He's shown he's not mature enough as a manager. He has not done well with the English squad that he has. How is he going to be successful in a league that, you need to be more pragmatic? You need to have an attacking style, and you can't just sit back and hope for the best. And this is what he's done for over the past years for England. In my honest opinion, a wasteful situation. He's been wasting the talent away for the last 8 years at England. A squad that's almost, if not the top three in terms of talented squad for depth and starting 11. He has not been able to execute well, has not able to win anything. All he has given is just excuses and probably discounts on pizza prices. Big up to guys coming in. Stachiv, what's going on, my bro? How you doing this morning? Let's get
I
right.
absolutely very good, man. Hope you guys and everyone in the chat had a very good Friday today.
Well, I mean, you know what it is? Just starting for me. I know
That's
your
just started.
your
Yeah.
Friday has been going on quite a while now, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's still the morning here, and
Yeah.
but
I
you know
know.
what it is, my bro. And we're getting into the match preview. Man, Brentford at home to Manchester United as we go there away. A lot of people have their opinions. I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, bro, we'll just hop in. If you got the link that I sent you, you should just be able to come into EVMux and you should see that I'm live and you could come right into the studio. But the link is also in the chat. I'll just make sure to pin it. So if you want, you can also come in, bro. 1 second, Kenny.
Mandelbrot games is such a always ahead of time.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Very well ahead of time. But like when it when it comes to when it comes to the FA Cup ones, I think Mark is literally is so ahead of time.
Oh, when you're talking
Usually,
about watching the games, I don't know, man.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
usually
FA
like
Cup,
about,
FA
I
Cup.
think, five seconds off the live usually
Yeah,
when I'm
usually.
when I'm there. Vegeta, the link is pinned in the chat, so if you want to pop in, you know what it is, bro. But yeah, let's get into the lineup, guys. Let's get into what's possible. From the different sources have claiming that this is going to be a possible situation for us. The last time we were in action was back a few weeks ago, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So let's see what's up right now. The predicted lineup for Manchester United as Hoyland is fully fit. You know what I mean? Let's see what's going on. And the prediction says that the Cameroonian, who's having a very strong debut since the turn of the new year, should be starting in goal. Diego Dallo at right back, one of the best players this season. I would have to agree with that comment. Rafael Varane, the right CB, he's going to be there. I think Victor Lindelof will probably be the one starting next to him, if not Martinez,
So
because as we know,
basically,
Martinez, it wasn't a race to
okay.
catch fitness over the last few
Oh yeah.
days, returning from Argentina early after training with the squad in some warm weather. There's also Aaron Wan-Bissaka who's going to start off the left, and I keep telling men, this is big, this is huge, because Aaron Wan-Bissaka off the left offers something diverse on the left-hand side, and you know what? It allows Diego Dallo to continue his partnership with Garnacho going forward. So you know what? I
Absolutely.
think it provides a balance to the defense. We know Aaron Wan-Bissaka should have been a right back or normally a right back, but at the same time, his performances off the left hasn't been bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think Wan-Bissaka. I think I remember he had just two to three training days just before he played against Liverpool, and I thought he was simply outstanding against. He was simply outstanding. He absolutely he like he was able to isolate Salah for the majority of the game. So I think for now we can just stick to Wan-Bissaka on the left. Dalot as per usual on the right back. He's been good this season. Especially during the start of the season, I had my slight doubts on Diego Dalot at the right back. But now he's been proving me wrong all these days. So it's literally good on him, man. You're on mute. You're on mute.
My bad, bro. I'm one of those guys who's always been supported on Mainu. You know what I mean? And Emi Mainu, Diego Dallo, because I mean
Yeah.
he's young. When he came in, we already had I think we had a good right back who was there before him, so he was trying to break into the team. I watched him
Hmm.
over at Milan when he was there on loan, and he did really well. And for me,
Oh,
I
he was
always
on
think
loan,
that
is it?
oh,
Okay. So Diego Dalot was on loan at
at
AC Milan.
Milan for a season.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So for one of those things for me, it's like I look at it from the perspective that some players need a run of games to get themselves into match form, and Diego Dallo is quite similar to Bruno Fernandez in the sense that he's always available. You know what I mean? He's got that fitness. He's running up and down for 90 plus minutes every single game.
Exactly.
He's probably the player in the squad with the most minutes this season. And it's one of those things where it's really really difficult, you know what I mean? And it's like I know he has not put in perfect performances all the time, but you know what, we saw what he did in the run of unbeaten games we had when we had 21 games unbeaten last season. Diego Dallo was that guy before they went to the World Cup, and then he came back injured, and then Aaron Wan-Bissaka took over, and he
Oh,
had a
yeah. True.
very
True.
very
True.
good season, very impressive from I would say, because I was not an Aaron Wan-Bissaka fan. And after last season under Ten Hag, I was like, massive improvement. His touch, his first touch, his passing, his decision making, you know what I mean? And his ability to go forward was drastically improved. And I really like
Drastically.
that. You,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And, it's hard not to talk about Kobe Mainu, because Kobe Mainu has been performing really, really well. And it's like a lot of people will say he's one of the best in the midfield at the moment, but you know what? I don't think it's hype really. I think it's just a youngster who came into a team, whether or not we were performing great or not at the time. He comes into this squad and he performs week in, week out. He
Week
drops
in,
a
week out.
7 out of 10. And
Absolutely.
you know what? It's difficult not to talk about how good he's been because he's only 19. And when you add that to the fact
18.
that he's doing an
Oh,
experienced
I
performance week
think
in, week out,
I think he's 18 now. Is it?
he's
18 years
I,
old now, or
I
18
think
now?
he's 19. Well,
Oh,
18,
really?
19. At the end of the day, he's a youngster, very
Yeah.
capable player. And, the biggest thing for me is his consistency in performances. You know what? So no matter what anyone says, he might not be the best midfielder in England, right? But he's been laying a foundation this season that says to his coach that, listen, I have to be on the starting lineup. You know what I mean? And you cannot knock that. This is what you want from the best players in every single team, or any team for that matter. You want them to come out there and give their best. And for a youngster who's breaking into a first team in his first season, right? It's almost ideal. It's the perfect thing. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
always say these youngsters deserve time, but really and truly, these youngsters need to earn their time. And it's
Correct.
like,
Absolutely.
he's earning his
Absolutely.
minutes for the next game with every game he performs. And that's what I think. You know what I mean? So, and then, Scott McTominay, there's a good chance Casemiro might not be fit, and Scott
I
McTominay
think
might be the
I
guy
have a
to
feeling
start.
Scott McTominay is going to start because I think I think there's something wrong with like Casemiro's knee or something like from last week. He said I think the I think from what I've heard is like uh, the medical have just found something on Casemiro, like a very small injury. Like if he keeps playing like strenuously, then his injury could be worse. That's what I've kind of heard or something.
Yeah, one of those things. You know what
Probably.
I mean? Big up to you, Vachita. Hope you had good
Bigger
breakfast.
Vegeta, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Reckless
Sorry, I had a
breakfast for you.
yeah, I had an early morning. Went to church for Easter Friday.
Oh, big up,
You
man.
know,
You know it
just had my
is.
breakfast. So yeah, it's been a good morning. What's up, guys?
Yeah, chilling, chilling. Just talking about the possible starting lineup. We went through the defenders just now. That's been reported by, the sources, and the starting lineup is basically looking like what we expected.
Yep,
Andre Onana, Diego Dallo, Rafael Varane, Victor Lindelof, You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
Yeah. It has
Aaron
to be
Wan-Bissaka,
AWB in the left back.
Onana, Kobe Mainu. The questions that we're having right now is the possibility of Scott McTominay having a start because Casemiro is not at his best. They found an injury a few weeks ago and then he went to Barcelona to another doctor to confirm, and it's
Yeah.
been confirmed. You can see that he came in the Brazil game and he only had a few minutes. He had to be replaced early by a Manchester United target, the youngster from Wolves, Gomez.
Mm.
So it's one of those
Oh, okay,
things.
Gomez. Ciao, Gomez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
João
I think
Gomez.
I think it'll probably be Meno and Casemiro, because you might see somebody like Scott come in whenever we need to go, because
True.
we tend to struggle, like I said, with these small teams. So Ten Hag might just keep Scott on the bench just in case he needs another forward playing midfielder later on in the game when he needs to go. So I think he might go in that direction to say, okay, Cass is back, so I'll just play him and Meno for
Hmm.
the first half, and then depending on whoever has a good performance, probably Meno. Cass will probably come off for Scott because he's never going to take off Bruno. Bruno's going to play the whole game, so that'll probably be the starting center midfield, in my opinion. Will be Bruno, Menu, and Casemiro.
Probably like I would like that starting lineup because I would like to keep the consistency and the balance as well. But having the option is not too bad. And like I will say, if the manager decides to put on Scott as a starter or he decides to start Casemiro, the manager is seeing something we're not seeing. You know what I mean? And we're catching Brentford at a good time, as Compost is saying. We cannot fail to get the 3 points here. They're there for the taking. Their performances in the last few weeks have not been great. They've been losing more than they've been winning, and it's been shocking. You know what I mean? They lost to Burnley. That was
Oh, yeah. Mm. Yeah, they
hilarious, to be
were.
fair.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't really like the red card that was given to Regulon. I think it was a little bit harsh. I've seen tackles like
I
that
haven't seen
happen
it, to be
against
honest.
us in the very next game, and the guy wasn't even yellow carded. So it's
Mhm.
just really weird for me, man. Really weird. You
Yeah,
know,
man, just has
I
to be a kick about with the boys when we play them. That's what it needs to be, just a kick
yeah, it
about
needs
with
to
the
be.
boys.
You
But
know,
us, we like to make our lives difficult for ourselves. But pray they
bro, like
won't.
I don't know why we keep doing stuff like that. I just feel like, sometimes I just wonder if you know what I mean. I just feel like maybe it's a lot the fact that we're missing like players that actually push, like someone to actually push Rashford off the left, someone to actually push one or two of the guys in the middle, like a like let's say hypothetically speaking, like a Florian Woods to push Bruno to be his best every game,
Mm.
like a
Florian Wirtz, yeah.
backup left back in who's just the same kind of profile as Lissandro Martinez, maybe like the young Fai I was talking about, the youngster from Senegal, or maybe a Goncalo Ignacio that's gonna, even if Lissandro is injured, this guy comes in and he's probably gonna drop similar 7 out of 7 performances. So they give the manager a headache in terms of selection. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that's
But
true, to be honest. So, yeah, we have to. Yeah, at the same time, I just saw in this chat, Mentor Ball Game says this match is very important to build up the momentum. If we lose or draw here, the Liverpool win goes to waste. True,
Uh, in a
could
way,
be
I
possible.
agree
True.
with that. 100%. I agree with that. In a way, I think it gives us it's a problem if we were to drop points here, especially for a team that has not been performing in the last few weeks. I think that's the biggest problem if we were to lose this game or draw.
We
But you
have
know
to
what?
we have to watch out for this guy. I forgot his name. The guy who played for Congo or something. I
We
forgot his
saw.
name. Yeah, yeah, we have to watch out for this guy.
I mean, I don't. I rate him actually. I kind of rate him because I think he performs really well. But at the
Yeah.
same time, just as much as we has to have to watch out for players like that, I think he's going to be up against Aaron Wan-Bissaka if I'm not mistaken, because he's going to be playing off the left,
Okay.
right? So I think
Right.
Mm,
Right.
it's going to be all right. I think meeting Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not like meeting Luke Shaw. I
I,
don't think Luke Shaw is as a physical
Ivan Tony
tackler.
shouldn't be a problem, to be honest. Ivan Tony shouldn't be a problem.
Shouldn't be, but that's the star man of
Yeah.
the Brentford team, and you never know.
I
He
think
You
hasn't been
never know. Yeah.
performing well. Like I call him Ivan the Terrible, but at the same time, you never know. He might come up. He might come up again and be up for a game against United, seeing that some of the clubs who were in for him are pulling away from him.
I was about
Manu
to say,
Tata.
yeah, I was about to say, I think he's auditioning now for a big club because if Arsenal are going to go for
Yeah,
a
true.
different player, I don't think he wants to play for Brentford forever, and he's almost like at the tail end of his career. Klopp is leaving Liverpool, so he can forget about that. So the only other two clubs that are big-ish, Chelsea's dead,
Probably,
but
probably
Chelsea
Arsenal,
and
Chelsea.
and
Yeah,
and
true.
United that need strikers. You
United,
see,
correct.
so he might turn up against us in the sense that he's auditioning, and what better than having the manager who might be there managing you next season to watch you play. So I don't think we should underestimate Tony. I think he might show up. As for the fullbacks, I think Diego Dalot's defending has improved enough for me to feel comfortable with that side. And Wan-Bissaka is always a nightmare for any fullback. They hate seeing that guy's legs whenever they're on the attack because they know what's going to happen. The spider's going to be there to catch the ball. So
100%, hundred
yeah.
percent. And Manu Tata is asking why the game is so late, bro.
Thankfully, mine is like around like my I think mine is like around like 6:15 in the morning for me on Sunday, which isn't too bad. Yeah.
For me,
Yeah,
it's
I
like 10
mean,
p.m.
yeah, I mean it's difficult, bro. Like I don't know
Yeah,
why
I
it's
know,
so
I
late,
know.
but it's something that's gonna affect the match going fans of United because there's no
True.
trains coming back after the game,
Yeah,
and
Mm,
it's just one of those things that you're gonna have to deal with. There's gonna be rearrangements, and of course, with the broadcasting rights and monies that the clubs earn, they're gonna have some form of commitment to being available to be broadcasted in a time slot. So it's difficult, man. It's difficult, and as much as I would say I don't like it, I think we definitely it's an issue, but at the same time, hopefully the guys go out there and they give a very, very big performance like they did against Liverpool. Probably better, maybe winning by maybe 3 goals to 1 or 4 goals to 1, something like that. I think Hoyland coming back is match fit. I think he's going to perform very, very well. And I expect him to grab some goals and continue his scoring run in the Premier League run of games, which is still 6 games and 7 goals, which is the record right now, and only one exceeds that is Van Nistelrooy with 10 and 10.
mm. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm in my 1-0, take the 3 points back at the moment. I just need 3 points.
yeah, like just
I'm
just
not,
just
I'm
around
not
like
going
one
to
goal margin.
even lie.
Mhm.
Even if we scrape
Yeah,
these one
one goal
nils,
margin is fine for me. To be fair, yeah, I'm all right with that.
I
I
just need us
mean,
to be in Europe next year.
bro, I would take a one
The
nil
one
up.
Bradford.
I take a 1-0 winner, bro. In my honest opinion, I'm not betting on Tony any day, bro. I just call him to Ivan the Terrible, bro. If you
I
already know
would-
what
yeah,
time it is,
yeah,
you know
you
what I mean?
always say that in the chat, man. That's
No,
hilarious.
because you see, listen, bro. Like I just keep it real, bro. Like Ivan Tony has a real good season last season. Cool. The moment he reach on top of the world, he his 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 situations went out of control, and look what happened. He get disciplined, right? Which I didn't really like. I didn't really want to see that happening because I would have liked to see how he would have looked this season. Because prospectively, as much as I might not like him as a striker, I feel like or you still want to see them and see what they have to offer, because at the same time I feel like it's always good to have competition. It's like what if back in the day watching the Italian league, Juventus, the old
Mm,
lady, Milan, Inter, them was the big teams in Serie A. But then it had a guy like Francesco Totti at Roma,
Roma,
and
yeah.
they didn't really have big players around him. But Roma used to beat the big teams. So when you see teams like Brentford and smaller teams, have 1 or 2 players that are big performers, that's good for the league. It's good it makes the game more exciting, because I mean, you want to win every week as a Manchester fan, but I'd still, you don't want to be playing against dead food. So
I hear you, but we're kind of dead food ourselves at the moment. So any club being worse right now is, nah, come on, come on.
I
Look at
mean, look at
look
it
at our
like this,
look at our
right?
win to lose ratio. It's not great. Look at our goal difference. Not great.
The goal
Let's
the
live
goal
in
difference is
reality.
a problem. I 100% agree there, but win to loss ratio over the season is not that bad, in the sense
It's
that,
it's not that we've broken records this
no,
season.
listen. Think about it like this, right? You see, I don't look at you see these records that people is be talking about. For me, when has that ever been so? Some of those records have never really been a thing. Because if you want to look at it like that from the perspective, one of the best man or greatest manager in history broke all those records for himself. He set those records most of the time, you know, the negative ones, and then he turned it around. And if you look at it prospectively speaking, from a season where we don't even have a fit squad for 10 games in a row, the full squad, like the starters. Let me just put it like that because everybody is saying when Liverpool, Man City missing Kevin De Bruyne and Rodri could lose to Brentford, could lose to Brighton, could lose to practically any team in the top 10, top 15. And we've seen it this season. You know what I mean? So I look at it from a perspective that, yeah, sure, we hadn't had good performances this season, but we, of any team in the Premier League, had the most key players out on average per game than any other team. So think about it from a perspective where you missing, let me say, two or three key players in key positions, defense, attack, midfield, and you expect your club to perform at the level of the two, three, four clubs that performing at the top. I mean, it's one thing to say that and it's one thing to actually believe that really and truly because from my perspective, it's like we expect a miracle but we're not really having faith.
But you see, that's why I always say we have to judge the season within our own context. We have to judge things correctly because yes, we've had all of these injuries. I don't disagree with that. That's why I've given Ten Hag this time. That's why I've joined the Ten Hag Defense League. But at the same time, in light of all of this, games still have to happen. And as the manager, this is where I fault Ten Hag. You then have to take into consideration who you then have to field and what they bring to the table, both in the good way and in the bad way. And I think sometimes he's tried to play these people as if he was playing the first guys. And that's the way we've been punished to say you can't play a Harry Maguire the same way you play Licha. You get what I mean? Like you have to kind of adjust to the people that, unfortunately, that's the cards you've been dealt with. And then at times we've seen people who are being rewarded who shouldn't be on the pitch. With all due respect, try something different. Because there's no point in saying Bruno must be there because there's nobody else. Well, try something. Because
Yeah, but
Bruno
there
being
is
there, it's
nobody
almost like
else.
no, but like honestly, playing Bruno for the most part was almost like playing with 10 men because he was more detrimental to us than being an asset.
No, I wouldn't agree there because if you I'll be honest with you, bro. I don't get how anyone who's watched Premier League could talk about Kevin De Bruyne positive and then talk negative about Bruno when Bruno and Kevin De Bruyne are actually like for like players and Bruno have the better passing range. But you see the problem that Bruno doesn't have is intelligent wingers playing with him. Garnacho is learning, he's young, but Marcus Rashford doesn't provide the same sort of outlet that Doku or Jack Grealish or anybody playing on the left for Man City does for Kevin De Bruyne. When you look at it and you say Bruno is the guy that it's like playing with 10 men. I mean, bro, I guarantee you if Bruno wasn't in this team this season, and we still had the injuries and stuff we had mine with added in additionally, we would probably be in 12th. And that's because
Mhm.
we're not in the squad. Because when Bruno is not there, there's no creation at all. Nothing. We create nothing. Look at the game we played against Liverpool. We had we had four moments where we created in that game. Four, right?
Yeah.
And if Bruno was in that squad, I am telling you now, we would have won that game against Liverpool. Because you see, you look at it from okay, maybe he might make a Hollywood pass, but we don't complain when Kevin De Bruyne are making 10 of those same Hollywood passes and they goes nowhere. In fact, we're like,
Yeah.
oh, good chance, good try, De Bruyne, good try, KDB.
But that's
People
not what I'm
complaining so
looking at
much
though. But you see, that's not
about
what I'm
Bruno.
complaining about. I'm complaining about the fact that he like to play hot potato football, and that sometimes
What is
doesn't
hot
help.
potato football, bro?
He
Like,
doesn't like. He doesn't want to keep the ball, my guy. And that's
why
the
should
thing.
he keep the ball? That's the next question, and I was going to
Because
ask
the
you.
people that you want to pass in are not in their positions. It doesn't help to
Bro,
just pass
listen,
for the
listen.
sake of
Put it like
passing.
this: do you know, right? And I want you to understand something carefully, right? We Marcus Rashford cannot play that possession-based football, that kind of recycle passing thing. He can't do it, right?
Yes.
Some of our attackers they're not ready for that. Some of our players they're incapable of it. It's not when you look at it, people have this term they call hot potato football, but in comparison to any other system than Pep system, that term will never exist in football because it
Nah,
makes no
I just
sense.
I
because
disagree
I'll just
because
be, I'm being honest with you when I say this, right? In the sense that holding the ball is not necessarily the best decision to do.
no,
Because if you look
but
at
you
the
can't
way
hate the
our
ball.
team is structured and the players that we don't have players that are going to do the same things as some players in Man City. They're not going to run the channels repeatedly. Some players stand up for the most part and wait for the ball to come to them. But the ideal thing is for players to be running into spaces, open spaces where the ball can come to. And if you look at the way Bruno plays the ball into spaces where the player should be, right? Because he's reading the game. When Bruno have to make up for Ericsson not being able to track back and make a tackle, or the fact that Ericsson don't want to take a yellow card by taking out a player, and he has to take the yellow card, nobody's complaining when the goal didn't score, right? So I understand people might have this idea, I mean, mental, bro. The ideology that the way Bruno plays put pressure on the rest of the team, bro, is insane. That
But you
I
see, that's the
really and truly,
problem. I am
that
not
is
saying that.
that is an inaccurate statement, bro.
I'm
Because
not saying that Bruno has not always been good, but we can't pretend as if he's not been a part of the why we haven't been playing good at times this season. Because yes, Bruno wants to create, and that's fantastic. I get that. But when we're always complaining about having an open midfield, you can't pretend as if he's not a part of that. Because yes, you want to pass, but at least make it a meaningful pass. You can't pass for the sake of passing. When I say hot potato, bro, take a touch, bro.
do you
Just
know?
look around you. Yes,
Have
your
you?
players should be there, but he's not there. So don't. Why are you passing there?
Well, I mean, look at it like this. If you're in training, and this is where again I will go back to KDB, and I will go back to other players who do the same thing, and they do it more than Bruno. Because if you want to know, if you go up and check the stats right now, KDB in less games have more inaccurate passes, more wasted passes. The same thing with Odegaard. Odegaard has less complete pass completion than Bruno in total this season. But here we saying Bruno is the problem because some of the passes he make go off. I mean, it's a football game, bro. Like in reality, in a football game, there are passes that are going to go awry.
A
Not
hundred
all
percent.
passes are going to
Nobody's
go
saying
and
that
drop to
Bruno
a
is gonna
player.
have 100% pass accuracy. I get you, but you can't always be when you're getting the ball. You're already looking to get rid of it. There's a reason why there's certain that some of the best midfielders in history. And to be honest, I feel like some of these recent guys have been overhyped. I'm talking about the creme de la creme who don't have the stats that we might, hold up. When the ball gets to them, the game is played at their pace, and
All
that's what we
right,
kind
but
of need in
you
a
have
number
to.
10.
But yes, you see, like I agree with that. But you see, the problem therein lies that we don't have intelligent footballers around Bruno. And when you blame Bruno for the fact that he's a higher intelligent footballer than most of the players around him, because he's seeing the game and reading the game and they're not reading the game, then it's almost like though we want him to just, okay, Bruno, you know what? You regress and play a lesser game of football to accommodate for the fact that we have players who cannot read football around you. You know what I mean? It makes no sense. So,
But
in my honest
okay.
opinion, is I rather Bruno do those things, I'm being honest, and highlight the fact that Rashford cannot read a football game over and over, so he could be sold fair,
But you see,
and that's just how I look at it.
with me, with all due respect, if we're gonna go up a step as a team, that's for me is why I would tell a person like Bruno because we can't be playing at your high tempo all the time. Sometimes we just need to slow the game down, and he can't do that unfortunately. And it goes against the way Ten Hag originally wants to play football. So almost Ten Hag has to almost compromise because he has to have this guy on the pitch because, like you're saying, he's the only creator on the pitch, which also takes away from his game. That's the problem I have. We still need to be able to control games, and unfortunately, right now, our midfield is as open as a Dunkin' Donut right now
Yeah, but
because
that's
of
not
the
his
lack of being.
fault. If you
I'm not saying
okay,
it's purely
I
his
could
fault, but I'm
you see.
critiquing
Listen, right?
his game specifically in this scenario. Of course,
Okay,
it's
but
not
if
just
you
his
look at
fault.
even in some of the games where I found that he hadn't had a good game, because I admit when Bruno doesn't have a good game, I'm not just blindly going to say he's the best midfielder in Man United,
Yeah,
but I admit he has had some bad games this season. But I could when I looking at the game, I could honestly see that if he wasn't compensating for Christian Eriksen in this game, he would not these things wouldn't be happening. If he wasn't compensating for McTominay, this wouldn't happen. If he wasn't compensating sometimes for Kobe, it wouldn't happen again. If he wasn't compensating for Rashford, it's the same thing. So when so why would I blame him when I could see that the reason why
Nah,
he's doing that is
nah.
because he's
This is the thing
compensating
we
for
do with
another
Ten
player
Hag.
mistake.
No, no. This is the thing we do with Ten Hag as well. These guys, we're not inherently saying that these guys are the problem or they're problematic, but we also need to be honest when we're having bad games, and on specifically they're having bad games, that we
Yeah,
can
but
critique certain things that they're doing that they can improve on. These are things that you can improve on to
yeah, but
make
you
your
see,
game
listen,
even
you can't
better.
you see, you making it, you just know, you see, there's the whole problem. How could you improve when the players who supposed to receive the ball not making the runs? Because you want him to improve by holding the ball. Okay, cool. So when they play the attacking, because he's done it twice this season, right? I just wanted to highlight this because a lot of people are saying let Bruno hold the ball. Cool. When Bruno holds the ball up, the attack play becomes super slow, and everyone complains. Why are we advancing so slowly? Why is this attack so slow? What happened to the pace? You know what? That's because Bruno is waiting on Rashford to run into place. He's waiting on Garnacho to find out where he should be. He's waiting for this player to make an overlap. And this is why he doesn't do it.
Okay, let me
Like,
throw
if
it
you
back at
look
you.
at the football, bro, like,
Yeah,
there's a lot of things we could honestly say is wrong. But you have to understand that sometimes there's reactions for an action, there's repercussions for every inaction taken. And
but
as much as
sometimes
I
those
wouldn't mind
reactions
selling
can,
Bruno just to
yeah,
prove it to fans, I'm being real. I would sell Bruno just to prove to fans how mad they are. You understand? Because we have Mason Mount, and a lot of people is like, start Mason Mount. Well, bro, I would
nah,
love Mason Mount to start. Because when
nah.
we can't create anything for 90 minutes,
I
people
haven't
will
seen anything
cry
from
for
him
Bruno
to
to
say that.
get back on the pitch.
I haven't seen anything from Mount to say that. Look, all I'm saying is, and Thierry Henry, one of the best strikers in the world, once said this. There were times earlier on in his career where he would make the intelligent runs, but he wasn't receiving the ball. And Arsene Wenger had to say, "But dude, you have to see who's on the ball to give you the ball, and you have to understand how they're most likely gonna play it in order for you to receive it." And I think Bruno also has to come to the realization that yes, he's seeing the game a certain way, but sometimes you have to adapt how you're playing based on the player that you're going to be passing to. That's true intelligence. That's what your players like your Zinedine Zidane, Iniestas, all of these people understood who they were playing with, because you're not gonna pass Messi the same way you're going to pass Iniesta, the same way you're gonna pass Neymar. They're not the
True,
same people, and
true.
you have to understand that. Yes, you Bruno, you are using fiber optic cables, and these guys are using ADLS. But you have to, because you're that fast, make a quick. You, come on, you know what I
Now,
mean. These guys are
bro,
really slow.
like
Like
at the
Bruno
same
is,
time, I'm not going to defend him to the point, but like I said, he has some bad games. He could do better. But like I would
and
say
that's what
that
I'm
for
saying.
most of the players in the squad, bro. Like, to be fair, but at the same time, you can't fault him too much. He playing with one of the youngest attacking front lines in the Premier League this season.
Mark,
I
you and I
mean,
agree. We agree. The
so
problem is that when it comes to people like Bruno, it's almost as if we get into defense mode. Everybody else, when we critique their weaknesses, it's easy. We do it and we move past. All I'm saying is, Bruno, this is where you're failing. I love you. I will defend you. When we add other fan bases, they're crazy. You are our captain, but there are certain things you're doing that I don't like. Just like with Ten Hag, I said, I love you. I'm gonna back you, bro. I'm back. I'm here. I've got my shiny card. But my guy, you have to fix up. There are certain things that you're doing don't make sense to me. That's all I'm saying.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like Ten Hag this season, like I feel like some of the decisions he could have made was better in my honest opinion, because when you look at the games, it's like, bro, if you didn't play this player here, maybe we wouldn't have been doing so badly. Maybe if you did play this player there, it would have been a much different performance. And when I look at it, like, at the same time, I'm mad at it, right? But then at the
Mm,
same time, the one thing I could consistently say is that he's been highlighting certain players' indeficiencies all season by the roles that they've been given, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And in one way, I just look at it from the perspective, if you have possibly a new DOF, a new CEO, some footballing minds looking at the squad in terms of the background, the new structure coming in,
Yeah.
you're looking to have a new recruitment policy, then you want these guys to see for themselves in game the deficiencies of the squad,
Yes.
because this is the only way when the process come to the summer during the transfer window, we could recruit the proper players and in the right profiles to fit this squad. And
And that's where Ralph was perfect because he actually managed these guys. He should have been up there with Omar
Yeah,
helping to
true.
restructure this team, honestly. He knows the surgery
Ragnick
that
shouldn't have
has
been
to be
sacked, in
done.
my honest
bro,
opinion.
Ralph
That
Yeah,
was
Ragnick
so
is the
dumb by
goat.
us, with all due
he's the
respect.
goat, man.
Because that's his job. That's what he's good at. He's not a coach. He's a builder of teams in the
Sporting director
background.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what the kind of guy we needed to be working with a mind like Ten Hag to say, look, we know, especially now you've got a team that actually wants to play good football in Ineos. They're saying, look, we're going to focus on the footballing things, which will then contribute to the commercial, not the other way around. So if you had a guy like Ralph who actually managed, he knows Maguire did, this guy did, this one Rashford, I love you did, because he doesn't have any loyalty to United at the end of the day. Because sometimes we look at people like Rashford through the academy lenses, whereas a person like Ralph is just looking at it purely from his footballing lens to say, you know what, Bruno can't play his football because this guy is so bad. Get rid of him. Get another guy.
True. Yeah, yeah, Campos is right. Ralph criticized Murta on the Glazers when he said, the club is mostly based on the marketing and not on actual football. So it's a mess. They didn't take that rightly. And mental, don't poke the bear this morning, bro. It's too early. It's a holy day today. Don't poke the bear, bro. I feel like you
I
ain't
actually
really
see it coming,
understand
bro.
what's going on here, but it's all good. Big up to you, bro. I know. I mean, listen, right? I feel like at the end of the day, this squad definitely over the last 2 seasons, and I had to say that the last two before this season, right? We
Yeah,
see players that we needed to get rid of. Players needed to go.
100%.
Whether we love them or not, whether we like them or we wanted them here or not, or we want to see them successful. There's come a time when it's be too much. It just is either it's not happening or maybe you need a fresh start as a player, and it might be
100%.
beneficial to the player. It would be sad to see some of these guys go. To be fair, but
Nah, not for me.
we need
I'm sorry.
change, and
I'm
change don't
ruthless.
come with new structure alone and new managers. It come with
Yeah,
new members of staff. So mainly new players as well. And
I
in
agree
our
for that.
rebuild, because I feel like a lot of people just forget we in a rebuild, right? We not
Yes.
Definitely.
we still in a rebuild, bro. And
Yes, that's why Ten
basically,
Hag is at the last. He's at the bottom. We're not even looking at him because we're in a rebuild.
exactly. Now, and this is the only reason why I kind of, or there's another reason why I kind of defending Ten Hag, right? Because
Yeah,
we in a rebuild, and picture this. In my honest opinion, we still in our first year of the rebuild transition because we haven't seen no players exit in
mm,
dross in gross. You know what I mean? We don't
Yeah,
see
yeah,
like
true.
7, 8 starters leave the club for new players to come in. And we see it at all the clubs who had rebuilds. Like Klopp had 37 signings in his first 2 seasons, bro. 37 or 3 seasons, 37, right?
yeah.
Pep had 29 in his first 3 seasons
And most
signings.
of them were like defenders.
Arteta
That was
had
crazy.
22 in his first two,
I did
first
at
two,
22.
three
That's
seasons.
that's true.
So it's
That's
like
crazy.
Ten Hag, not even close.
No, definitely, definitely. And I think that was my rationale with coming back to the THDL because I was just like, especially after the Liverpool game, I was just like, you know what? Actually, Ten Hag's players are still trying to play for him. They just can't do it, and that's why I kind of want to see what Ten Hag looks like when he's got superior players. Honestly, with all due respect, like you're saying, next season will be interesting in the way that we're gonna have a mass exodus because contracts are ending, people are getting sold. We're gonna need to cover a lot of positions. So when that mass exodus comes through, it'll be interesting to see. Because clicks will be gone as well with people losing their friends. That's another thing. We need to break up these friendships because I'm team Manchester United. I don't give a damn about these players. I want to see my club doing well. I don't care that your friend is at Dortmund. Sorry for him. He did the wrong thing. So let Ten Hag cook and do what he needs to do.
Yo, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, I don't even like to criticize Sancho, bro, because I want him to play for Trinidad and Tobago. I putting that out there. I is one of the men that backed him to the hill. I being honest, bro. England not going on, not observing your talent. They don't appreciate you, bro. You have that Trini lineage. Come home. You understand? We go into the World Cup too. And you know what? I bet money, bro.
Hey,
If we could face England in this World Cup, it's a different story to the 2006 World Cup. You know what I mean? They're not no VAR. It had no VAR then. And if they had VAR, Peter Crouch would have got a red card. You know what time it is?
mm,
Trinidad would have be winning that game 2-1. It wouldn't that be 2-2, and then Rooney come and score the winner. You understand what I'm saying? So
hey,
in my honest opinion, I feel like we need new. We need to these players need to do their thing. They need to be responsible for themselves. We can't keep treating these players like they're little babies, bro. Like people say, like, oh, he says Sancho didn't train well. How that affects Sancho, bro? As a man, as a professional, as an adult at a job, you are at your and this is your job. You have to respect your boss,
Mm,
your immediate supervisor, and if he
100%.
criticize your performance and your output, it's part of his job to do so, because you cannot determine you're a great worker or a great employee or you perform amazingly if your output is not where it should be. You know what I mean? It's just weird, bro. And like, you know what? I am happy for Sancho that he is happy, because he seems to be happy, to be fair, playing at Dortmund. The way he looks energetic. You know what I mean? In the PR they've been doing, he looks a little bit more comfortable than he was when he was at Manchester United. Maybe it was a bit of different things. And they will always have these things happen, because not every single player you sign will be a success. Not every single youth talent you have is going to become world class. And the one thing I could say in Eric Ten Hag's favor is that his first season, even though he didn't really change the system fully at the first team, he did it at the academy, and we could see it for the first time in 3 years. Manchester United under 18s have been atop the league for the entire season. 5 games to go, and they're 5 points ahead of everybody else. They haven't lost a game. I mean, the under 21s are struggling, but a lot of it is because the players at the under 21 level were a mixed mash of players that wasn't really brought in to play a specific style of football. And pretty sure they are very talented as well. But I think a lot of them are going to be moved on in this summer as well, to make room for the under 18s who are having a great season, for them to move up and the younger ones to come through. Because listen, the under 18s have a group of players, and I would say that the starting level is amazing, but in fact, they could bench the starting 11 and still win against the other teams. So
Yeah,
it's one of those things where, I feel like the future holds more for Ten Hag than right now. And in the right now, we only angry about this season. Last season, everybody was cheering and jumping for joy when we overachieved. And like you said, there are no major outgoings, so he not really at par in terms of the what a rebuild defines. So
yeah,
for me, I'm going to back him. I think the team regaining some of the players who were out, like Lissandro and having a Wan-Bissaka now fit, and Hoyland is match fit again after a 2 week break. The rest of the squad, even Bruno, was able to have a rest, for the better part of 10 days, as a after only playing one game for their country. So
that's good
it
for us.
seems to me that this last 10 games we might be seeing a stronger, well rested Manchester United team that might be ready to perform at a more higher level than we have seen all season.
Yeah, I hope so. I really hope
Yeah,
so.
pretty much it.
But yeah, no, you know what? I'm actually excited, but I want to say something about this whole DOF thing. If Newcastle really is going to be Petty LaBelle with this whole situation, go get Ralph. Honestly,
Yeah,
go get
bro.
Ralph now, immediately. Let's start planning for the summer. Ten Hag doesn't need any more of the Morto, Woodward delay tactics, weeks and weeks of being linked to a million players. We just need to go in, make our deals right now so that by the time the tour comes around, we're ready, we're fit, we're locked in. Because I think also having all of these transfer rumors happening while you're on tour is not good for you guys, because you mentally don't know who's leaving, who's coming, what the final team's gonna look like. So we need to get our business done as soon as possible so that these boys can be in just beast mode from day one and just be locked in.
100%. Guys, there's 41 people watching and we're on 13 likes. Big up to those who smashed the like buttons. But the rest of you, please come in, smash those like buttons. If you're on Twitter, just stop by on YouTube for a short second and smash the likes again. You know what it is, guys. Help the channel grow, spread it around. We're about to close the show with the final comments, because you know what? We're facing Brentford tomorrow, guys, and it's going to be a late one, and we got to get the 3 points because we need to be getting top four. And I just wanted to bring this last bit of news to the table, because there's been the one thing I also like about Ten Hag is that he's the manager that has played the most youth players of any team in the Premier League consistently this season. And there's
Yeah,
more and more youngsters that are coming into the fold. They are coming. There have been a lot of youngsters. There are said to be 10 youngsters who are training with the first team all season. And I just wanted to talk about these two guys because they have not been at the forefront of the best performances in terms of the starlets that everyone has been talking about in the under 18s. But these two have been performing really consistently in the under 21s. And it's a duo of Zachary Borman and Jacob Devaney that I'm talking about. And they've been training with the first team for the last 6 weeks, and their performances have been admired by our manager. And you know what I mean? A lot of the players who were injured, as you can see, this is a picture of Devaney right here training here. You know what I mean, with Rashford and the guys. And Bowman has been in something regular presence. He's played under 18. He has managed 12 appearances. The youngster has played really well. And you know what? A defender and a central midfielder is something that we definitely need in the squad. And Eric Ten Hag has not ceased, right, to give the chances to the young players who have been consistent, motivated, worked hard, right, and shown what they can do over the course of the season for the youth counterpart teams in the academy. So my question to you, the chat, and everyone on X watching, and you guys on the panel, is what do you think about this? What does this bode for the United going forward? Because at the end of the day, the future is what we're really on about. And at the end of, we can talk about this season. And yes, if even if we were to get top four, get UCL, we still have to
Yeah,
see where the progression is coming from. I also don't think that we're going to be spending a lot of money in the transfer window, and that's only because if you look at 200 million in
yeah,
the
mainly
current
because
scheme
of
of
that. Yeah,
things, it's not that much. And with Sir Jim Ratcliffe talking and hyping up and amping up about the new stadium, it would be thinking and common for me to understand, to feel like that's his main focus. And having to spend near 1.5 billion to do this development, I can't see us doing so much unless we have a lot of outgoings as well.
You want to take it, Kenny?
Yeah,
oh
you can
yeah,
come
yeah,
in,
I was,
Mental
yeah, yeah,
Vegeta, if you want. Such, I'll let Kenny close the show.
Okay.
oh yeah,
So I think it's great because like KJ was saying, the DNA of our club has always been to trust in youthful talent, but also it's important for every level of our club to be playing the same way, which we always haven't gotten right. So the fact that these young teams are doing well, and the fact that we're seeing some of them coming into the team like Maino, Ganacho, these two new guys, that fares well, because maybe sometimes even if they don't succeed at the first team level, they'll be great commodities to sell on, just like what Chelsea and City do, which will only be good for us down the line because then we can use that money to reinvest in the first team. So it's good to see these guys succeeding. I hope they do well. It's very much united of us to have these young guys playing in our first team, and I'm happy about that. That's why Ten Hag is the guy, because not a lot of managers would do what he's doing right now with these young guys, injuries or no. That's just the reality.
Big up to you. You know, guys, I know a lot of you really like the Dan Ashworth links. I'm gonna say this now. I don't like him one bit. I think he's average. I think we should be getting Paul Mitchell or someone like that who has shown that he has experience across Europe doing more damage and getting more players, that actually at the level that we would like to sign. Because I could go on and call a list of players from a virtue of at least 15 clubs that we would like to sign who are all scouted by Paul Mitchell. But right now, the focus is on United and the games at hand, because you know what, at the end of the day, we're probably not going to see a DOF come in until May. So right now for me, I'll put that on the back burner. Sachiv, what are you thinking about the youths coming through, and what does it bode for us going forward?
Well, I see. Well, I see. I will be. I think next season I will see like a couple of players making it into the first team squad. Like probably with the likes of Willy Komwala. I would say Kobe Meno definitely. Alejandro Ganacho definitely. He is right at the moment. There'll be a lot. There we will see quite some bits of academy players. Absolutely gonna break into the first team squad. I think which is good, and I just think we will buy a couple of experienced players. Like for example, I'll probably say maybe Rabiot in midfield. Like yeah, I would love to see more academy kids, and also together with the experienced quality players for next season. It really kind of reminds me a little bit of like Real Madrid, you know, like the young Kamavinga and Rodrigo and like all these players together with Luka Modric, very experienced players. So I think it kind of reminds me a little bit of like Real Madrid. So
I mean, fair
looking
enough.
it's kind of looking that way for me
Yeah, I
a little
mean,
bit, just a little bit.
at the end of the day, we're always going to be mentioned on that scale, Sachiv, at the end of the day, because Real Madrid, like you're saying, is a big club. And at the end of the day, like, Manchester United for me is like the biggest English club in the history. And like if you go to Italy, I
For
would
real.
say it's AC Milan. A lot of people might say it's Juventus. Some people might say it's Inter. You know, I just look at it and say, yeah, I've been telling guys this, bro, because I've been hearing the
Yeah,
reports
we
for the
already knew
last
this. Yeah,
month
yeah.
in Germany because I live in Germany, and a lot of reports are saying that he wants to have a little bit more control over his
There
destiny,
you
and
go.
the only way
Good.
he feels like he can do this is by winning a second season and going far in the UCL with this same team that he's currently coaching right now. And I
Absolutely.
would have to say, as a football fan, I think that's the best choice because you know
Best
what,
choice for real.
you
Yeah.
take a team that has been always been one of the, I can't say always been one of the top, but when I was growing up, Bayern Leverkusen was always in the Champions League. You know what I
Mm,
mean? And
yeah.
for me,
Hmm.
I always would have thought that they were like the second best team in Germany, but they happen to be one of those teams that never won a German Bundesliga. So, in my
Really?
honest opinion, when I look at it like this now, I'm like, hey, if you win their first Bundesliga in their history, it wouldn't it
Be
make
legend.
you much
Be
more
legend.
greater and much more wanted
For
across
real.
Europe if you win another
Status.
one?
Exactly.
You know what I
Get it?
mean?
Yeah, it's getting a statue out of Leverkusen Stadium if he does that. I'm telling you right now. But you know what? Southgate to Liverpool. They got to do it. They
Oh,
have to do
please
it.
make it happen. Please make it happen.
Make it
Please make it
happen,
happen.
guys. I don't want to troll
Make
too
it
much,
happen.
I was waiting until
The
Sunday
street needs
after we
it. The
beat
street
Brentford to
needs it,
troll
people.
hard. But you know what? You cannot laugh at the Scouse because you know what? The Scouse gate will happen. It makes sense. It rhymes. You know what I mean?
The Scouse kid.
I'm telling you, bro. It rhymes. Southgate, Scousegate. You know what I mean? It rhymes, bro. Scousers and Southgate rhymes.
Yeah.
Scousegate. You know
Yo,
what I
can you
mean?
imagine a waistcoat managing Salah? That's going to be interesting to see.
Imagine Liverpool getting back Henderson, you know. Henderson.
Bro.
Okay, do
Jamie
it.
Carragher would be a good choice as well. Good one compost. You know what I mean? I would nominate Jamie Carragher to be coach. Don't think he could do a job though, but he's talked so much on television like he's such an amazing football mind. He should be
Exactly,
doing that.
bro.
He
For
never
real.
won anything. You know,
Or they can always go for, what's his name, Potter. Get some magic at their club.
bro.
Yeah.
They need some magic. Maybe we should help them out. You know what I mean?
Oh, there's
Graham
always
Potter.
Oli on the Solskjaer. They can always get Oli. They at Bayern. Bayern's were looking at Oli at some stage. They can go get Oli.
Wingardia Levi Scouser.
Oh no,
Hey,
Big up,
Scouse
big
hey.
up.
ears.
Bro, always wanted to do that, to be fair, to be fair, to be fair. But you know what, guys? Salah might be leaving, Trent might be leaving. Now, a lot of people I heard rumors talking about Trent possibly going to Real Madrid.
I think it's gonna happen.
That is mad for me
Yeah,
because you
this
know
is
what? I
might happen,
mean,
bro.
Trent is a very good, talented footballer, but I think he's more of a midfielder than a defender. I never rated him as a defender, in my opinion. I think he was always
True. Yeah.
suspect. You know what I mean? But as a player, I would always rate him because his ability is up there with the
I,
best. You know what I
I
mean?
think he'll fit in with those guys, bro. His creative talents with that front three and that midfield will be ridiculous. Honestly, Madrid is just cheating. They're playing this game on easy mode at this stage.
Yeah. You know what? Dice Smalls. Somehow I feel we in for a shock in the Premier League this season, guys, because like I said to many people last season, and I know man never believed me. I put Man City finishing third this season, right? I tell Man City wasn't winning the Premier League this season. And
They're not gonna
people,
win it.
where Man
They're too.
City is, there's in
They're
third,
third.
behind goal difference on Arsenal, behind by a point. If Arsenal draw City, I just want people to understand if Arsenal was to draw City, to this weekend and City draw one more game, they're out. Because if you add 30 points to what City has, the most they could get to is 93. If you add 30 points to what Liverpool has, they could get to 96. And if you add 30 points to what Arsenal have, they also get to 96. So it's one of those things where it's going to be a tough one. And I would
Ah,
love to see Arsenal draw this game. I don't want to see them win. To be fair, the Arsenal, the shitty, all the
Arsenal.
cheaty,
They're
all the
gonna be so loud.
Liverpools.
They're gonna be so loud
I only
against.
want them to
Arsenal for
draw.
the league for sure. Arsenal for the league,
Oh
definitely.
jeez, I have to
Bro,
unsubscribe
Love
from
that.
Troops TV and Arsenal AFT TV. I have to.
bro.
Dear Sports, I have to leave. Oh no no no
Nine,
no.
bro. I can't deal with that, bro. I don't want to say, bro, as much, if it happened, it happened. But here's what I'm saying. For the
It
next
is
three
what it is,
games,
bro. I
I
couldn't care
want
less,
them
man.
to draw. I want all the people ahead of us to draw the next two games in a row. If they could draw
Disqualified.
or lose, that's all I want happen.
Disqualified.
After that, anything can happen. You know what I mean? Let
Yeah,
the
Robbie.
games begin, bro.
Yeah,
This
Robbie needs
Premier
to
League
do another
season, at least
speech.
one thing we could say as fans, it has been more exciting than last season. For
Definitely.
Manchester United fans, it has been a difficult watch. I understand, guys. We have
So
not been
tough.
at where we should have been. Because imagine if we was performing like we were last season, without the injuries we had this season, we'd probably be
Oh yeah,
already
for
in
real. We
top
would have
Oh,
been.
three.
we would be gassed, bro. These people would not be able to breathe,
How we
bro.
gas for
You know
real.
how many United fans there are on Twitter? These guys would not be able to hide, bro.
Facts. Bro, City going for four in a row.
Hell
Bro,
no, they're not gonna get that fourth.
they not get, bro. Listen, I
No,
tell
no,
man,
no.
City not even winning the Champions League this year, right? So
Yes.
City best
Oh,
chance of a
trophyless,
title
trophyless
is
season,
beating United in the FA Cup final,
Yeah.
which
trophyless
I think
season, bro.
not
I'm
happening.
prepared for that.
I
You
don't
know
Trophyless
think
what?
season.
That
Ten
could
Hag
actually
losing to
happen.
this guy three times in
It
a
might
row in
happen
a
actually.
season.
Yeah,
That is
Kenny's
my
right.
honest opinion.
Kenny's right. They might actually have a trophy list because I back us to get the FA Cup. With all due respect, I think we can win the FA Cup. I don't see them
I
winning the
think
Champions League.
Chelsea. I think Chelsea might have a chance to go in the final because Chelsea drew with City twice, and predominantly Chelsea should have won both of their Premier League games.
You know why?
100%.
You know why?
And
It's
not
because
only that,
Poch
guys,
is his
because
bogey manager.
Real Madrid for me this season, and I don't know about other men, right? But I just have this funny feeling that this weird bookie form that Real Madrid going through right now is like a planned situation. Like the sabotaging themselves with some of the players that start in the game. I feel like they're experimenting now, and in the big game, they're gonna play the best 11, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
if City play the way they play against Arsenal, against
I,
Liverpool,
ooh,
against
Oh,
Man
they
United,
will
they
they'll get
get
bashed up
against
demolished.
play that
at
way
the first leg. Yeah.
against that Real Madrid team, I think after the first half, Real Madrid could be up 4-0 or 4-1. That's
Plus,
just me.
Madrid is like United. Remember, when it's April time, that's when they lock in and they almost become unbeatable during this time. The mentality of that club is ridiculous.
Not only that, bro, like think about it. You have Bellingham who's bound to score. Bong to score Bellingham is why it is called Ladu. Bong to score. You have Vinny Jr., who is definitely going to destroy Kai Walker. He probably going to pull a
For real,
hamstring, right? And
100%.
then you have an option coming off the bench like a young Hendrick who just bag at Wembley
Hendrick,
versus
yeah.
England, playing against the same guy he going to be playing against John Stones. So, you know what I mean? I just looking at it from the perspective of, listen, this Real Madrid team is a much stronger Real Madrid team than they were last season in
Yeah.
terms of the goal ability, the goal threat. You have a
Yeah,
Valverde, you have a rocket on his right foot.
you've got
The
still
man have a
Rodrigo
rocket
still plays for
launcher.
them. You still got
Bro,
Rodrigo. Those guys are using Grand Theft Auto cheats at this stage, bro, to play
bro,
football.
Grand Theft Auto is joke. But you know what? We've been on here for at least an hour, guys. And
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't mean to
I
have a
think
long
80 will
stream.
be
And I don't know
live.
if KG coming out today, but he probably is in
He's
church as
live now.
well.
He's live.
Big up to
He's live now.
He's live. Well, we got to
Yeah,
get
he's
to the
live at the
reckless
moment.
business, guys. You know
Gotta
what?
go.
Thank you for everyone watching. We all
Big up,
think
man.
that Manchester United is probably going to win on Saturday. I, for one, think it's going to be a 4-0 win.
Yo,
I
by
don't know
the way,
about
I have to
Vegeta.
say one thing.
2-1.
I think John Morgan said that next season, next season we're gonna challenge for the title.
Who's that? We? United?
Correct.
It's
United next
possible,
season.
bro. Like,
To,
I'm gonna be real with you guys,
to be
right?
fair, John Morgan's most of his predictions is coming true.
I'm gonna tell you all
Most of
something,
his
right?
predictions.
Football is
That's
so
crazy.
funny. Football is
That's
such a funny
mad.
sport that is two players depending on where they come into the squad could change the squad from a squad that can compete to a squad that is going to compete, and it might just be that weird, bro. You never know what can happen. Football is a beautiful game because it's unpredictable. You can have a star-studded 11 on paper, and when it comes to the match day, the team on the day might not be the one that win. So you know what? That's just how football is, and that's why we love this sport, guys. Big up to all of you joining us. Thank you so much for Vegeta coming in. Big up to
Big
you,
up,
Kenny
Mark.
Cheers,
Fan
man. Cheers,
TV.
man.
Big
Big
up
up.
to you, Compost Mental Ball Game. Big up to you, my bro. Big up to you, GB Dark Crow. Haven't seen you in a while, buddy. How are you doing? Hope everything is well. So you will get back 5-0, 7-0 revenge from
Oh
Liverpool
yeah,
Boys
lovely,
Club.
lovely. I will.
Bro,
We will
let me
smash
tell
the
you
next game.
something, right? You see that next game against Liverpool? Watch this space, bro. See that 5-0 talking there? Watch it. Watch it happen, bro. Watch it happen, Dakro. Big up to all of you coming in today. Don't forget to smash a like and subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to hit a retweet for those of you viewing on Twitter. Catch you guys later. Thank you for being here. This has been the
Thank you
Manchester
so much.
United versus Brentford match preview with your boys, Kenny Fan TV, Vegeta, and MarkN MUFC Fan.